Okay, we'll take a look at the delete functionality now. So we'll head back over to VS Code and I'll just clean this stuff up. And what we'll do is we'll go to our message controller. And inside here, we're just going to add a method so that we can delete a message. And what we'll do is we'll make this an HTTP delete. And what we need to do in here is take in the ID of the message that we actually want to delete from here. So we'll create a public async task, and we don't return anything from deletions. So we'll say action result, and we'll just say delete message, and we'll give it the int of the ID of the message. And what do we want to do in here? Well, we're going to need to get hold of our user, first of all. So we'll say var username equals user and get username. And we also need to get hold of the message, so we'll say var message equals await, and then we'll go to our message repository, and we'll say get message, and we'll pass in the ID. And then we need to run some checks. So what we'll do is we'll add a bunch of conditionals here to make sure that we're doing what we want to do. So we'll say if the message .sender.username is not equal to username, and the message.recipient.username is not equal to username, then we're going to return unauthorized. So what we're doing here is we're saying that if either the sender username or the recipient username is not equal to the username, then this message has nothing to do with that user, so we're going to return unauthorized. And after that, what we'll do is we'll check to see if the message.sender.username is equal to the username, and if it is, then we're going to say message sender deleted is equal to true. And then we'll check the other way, and we'll say if the message.recipient name or the message recipient.username is equal to the username, then we're going to say message.recipient deleted equals true. And then what we'll do, we'll check to see if both the sender and the recipient have deleted the message. So we'll say if the message.sender deleted, and then we'll add double ampersand, and we'll say message.recipient deleted, then we know both users have deleted the message, and therefore we can delete it from the server. So we'll get the message repository and we'll say delete message, and we'll pass in the message. And let's bring this down. And after that, what we can do is say if await, and we'll say message repository and save all async, and we'll return OK from there. And if that doesn't work, then we're going to return a bad request and say problem deleting the message. So what we also want to do is go back to our repository, and we're going to need to only return messages for the sender or recipient depending on what they're getting if the message hasn't been deleted. So if a user who sent a message deletes that message that they've sent, then we don't want to send that back so they see it in their outbox. So we'll add an extra check inside our repository methods. So we'll open up the message repository, and what we want to do in here, we'll need to do two things. We'll need to, first of all, add an extra condition inside our inbox and outbox methods. So inside the inbox, what we need to do, and let's just add it after this and then clean it up afterwards. We'll need to add a double ampersand, and then we'll say u.recipient deleted is equal to false. So we're only returning messages that the recipient has not deleted. And let's move that down. And what we'll also do is do the same thing for the outbox, but this time we're going to say double ampersand and u.sender deleted is equal to false. And we also need to do exactly the same thing in the default case where the unread messages are going. And we'll say message.username double ampersand, and we'll add another double ampersand, and in between this we'll say u.recipient deleted is equal to false. So we're only going to be returning messages that have not been deleted. And then what we can do is scroll down to our get message thread, and what we want to do here is on the first line where we're checking the recipient username is equal to the current username, we also want to add a double ampersand here and say m.recipient deleted equals false. And then we also need to do this at the bottom line where we say the sender name is equal to the current username, and we're going to say double ampersand and m.sender deleted is equal to false. And that takes care of the API, and in the next lesson we'll do the same thing on the client.